N-Dimethyltryptamine, better known as DMT, is an intense psychedelic that causes intense, vivid, almost otherworldly hallucination and feelings of euphoria. Popular amongst ancient culture as a spirit drug, and even more so among drugs enthusiasts. DMT has been at the forefront of wonder and controversy alike. DMT was first synthesized by Richard Mansky in 1931, German whose being responsible chemist did not smoke, inject, or otherwise indulged in his creation. In fact, he nor anyone else realized the powerful effects of this molecule, and it instead sat as an interesting side note for 15 years until it was discovered in nature by Oswaldo Gonçalves. Oswaldo Gonçalves was a Brazilian chemist who, following the advice of various spiritual leaders, was introduced to colubrina tree and rhodamid plants in South America. He's also credited for being the first to isolate DMT in its natural and uncontaminated form. His work laid the foundation for a more contemporary understanding of DMT and its effects. To understand how DMT affects our body, we have to turn to the brain. The pineal gland, sometimes called the third eye, controls the sleep cycle when it secretes melatonin during the night and serotonin during the day. Studies have also shown that traces of DMT have been found in the pineal gland as well, which is converted from serotonin. In a study, DMT was found to bind to the sigma 1 receptor, which is found around the body. This receptor plays a key role in protecting the cells from dying when oxygen is low, making the room for the argument that DMT may be released in a large quantity during the death in an attempt to keep our cells alive. This sudden flood of DMT is what many researchers believe provokes the mysterious encounters on the border between life and death that are often reported by those who die and are revived. Besides the brain, DMT is also found in nature in many plants and animals. One major animal that naturally produces DMT is the Colorado river toad. The Colorado river toad, also known as the Sonoran desert toad, is found in northern Mexico and southwestern United States. Its toxins secreted from the gland within their skin containing 5-methoxy-DMT and bifenthrin. The poison produced is so potent that it can kill a grown dog. Many use these glands to extract DMT from the toad and use them as a hallucinogen. However, extracting DMT is not as simple as just licking the skin of the frogs, is believed by most. This is because this is not orally active. The toxin has to be squeezed out of the frog and boiled. A single deep inhalation of the venom produces a strong psychoactive effect within 15 seconds. Besides the toad, the ayahuasca tree also contains DMT. The bark and leaves of the ayahuasca tree, called a yetch, has DMT in it and used by many spiritual and religious ceremonies, both medically and psychologically. A traditional indigenous ritual of spiritual and physical healing in Colombia uses ayahuasca for an awakening or to obtain a deep spiritual insight. The ritual typically takes place over entire nights. DMT is very similar to serotonin in structure. However, DMT has two methyl groups attached to the same nitrogen, which creates a tertiary amine, and serotonin, on the other hand, has two hydrogen attached to the same nitrogen, which forms a primary amine functional groups in the alcohol at the pair position. Both DMT and serotonin go inside the brain, but shows different effects on the brain. Seeing how DMT and serotonin are very similar, we can imagine that they are siblings, and the brain is the house that both siblings want to stay in. Since DMT and serotonin are siblings, they are allowed to go inside the house. However, they still have very different personality, which makes a different effects on the brain. When serotonin is in charge, everyone in the house is productive and happily working well together. When it is DMT's turn, he turns the house into his private party. No one wants to work, they have no concept of time and just want to enjoy themselves. This makes DMT an unfavorable member of the family. You may be wondering where I can get such a wonderful drug. Well, you can't. As of 1968, the US and the United Nations placed DMT among others into Category 1, which means the compound poses a serious risk to public health and hold no beneficial value. Numbers of studies have shown that hallucinogenic drugs such as LSD, psilocybin, and ayahuasca have the potential to address obsessive-compulsive disorder, the psychological impacts of terminal illness, and substance abuse disorder, including alcohol and tobacco. However, at this point, more data need to be collected on the use of DMT alone to fully understand the therapeutic effects of DMT on humans.